Hello and welcome to Fifth and Grace. Today we're going to have a little peeky peek at Tweedle Ding Dong. Prince Harry, Sussex, Wales, Mountbatten, Spencer, whatever the heck his name is these days, whatever he wants it to be. Let's just have a little peeky peek into what he's doing right now, because I feel like there's something going on. And I will apologize now if you can hear the noise from outside. There's some construction going on. And there's just not going to be a good time today to do this, so we're just going to do it now. We're just going to do it now, right through the construction. So I gave the cards a really good shuffle before I turned the camera on. And there we go. That feels good. And we will just pull a few cards and see what's going on. The public image that he is presenting right now is one of somebody who's very capable, somebody who, or let me be clear, that he believes he's presenting. The image he believes he's presenting is, that he's capable, that he's doing all the right things, that he's got a lot of experience in sociopolitics and fundraising and being out in the world shaking hands. Okay, and unfortunately, I don't think he's received the message yet that just being famous and shaking hands is that's not going to pay the bills. So he believes he's out there. Really, I mean, we saw him cosplaying his dead mom recently, didn't we? Hello, grief grifting. And then I think he kind of went missing. Like, I think he's trying to convince us he's capable of doing it all by himself, and he's got all the experience and everything he needs to do that. So, I don't know. I do not know. This man is kind of cray. The hidden truth, what's really going on behind the scenes. He is, well, that came out reversed. I don't normally read reversals, but this actually makes sense today. He's not listening to the people who are his best advisors, shall we say. All the people in his household, like he thinks he's got a royal household, they're not his best advisors. There are people who have been with the royal family since before he was born who are the advisors he should be listening to in terms of surviving all of this. Like when did he get with Meghan? Like 7, 8 years ago? That's a long time to be on the outs with a whole lot of stuff, so he needs to start getting himself into the conversations of the best advisors he can. That could be spiritual, that could be financial, that could be royal experts who know exactly what moves he should be making to make his grand return to the UK. Like, I really think that's coming. Maybe not anytime soon, because he's going to have to eat a lot of crow before that's going to happen. But yeah, I would say he really, behind the scenes, he's not listening to the people that he should be listening to, his advisors, the people, the institution, shall we say. And he thinks he can do it all on his own. Or at the very least, I think that Meghan has him convinced. Oh, yeah. Like she had him convinced they would be, Hollywood royalty. Yeah, how'd that work out? There's some contracts, perhaps, that will be going away. Oh, wait. Because this is a recent loss. So the Netflix deal, there we go. I don't really stay on top with these people of every move they're making, but I do remember seeing there was a Netflix deal that just kind of went away. And so these contracts are gone. There may be another deal, but really sort of everything that they've done over the last year or two, the jam, the brands, the show, all of this, it's all just fizzling out and going away. This is like sort of the energetic cost of these missteps that they've been making. When you piss off enough people, they won't buy your products, and if we want to talk about like grifting, you know, when they went to the LA fires, they trespassed, and then they posed for big smiling photo ops and things like that. I think they thought that people truly believed that they would think they're making a difference, and they're not. They're just, it was a drive. It's like people who drive down the highway and photograph or film the accident on the highway. That's about what their contribution to that amounted to. And people are seeing it, and they're just, you know, they're losing a lot of favor and grace with people, and everybody's getting kind of sick of it. I think the dance, the hospital dance video may have really backfired on them, for sure. Absolutely. Wow. So if we're looking deep down in like his most wounded part, it would be, and I don't normally take this card literally. Rarely would I ever say this is about death, but since it's here, you know, everything that he's experiencing right now is bringing up a lot of feelings for him about when his mom died. And we all do it. We all get taken back. We're transported back to a moment when something familiar or similar comes up or happens. And so probably all the public scrutiny over the royal family when Diana died is probably being reflected in a lot of ways now, because he's under a lot of the same style of scrutiny right now, not necessarily over a tragedy, but I mean, his father's going to die. I think that's clear. Like it's come out that the cancer's worse than what was originally put out to the public. And I mean, you know, like we're all gonna die eventually. But I mean, his father's gonna die, and that's gonna bring up all kinds of things. And I'm sure there's information behind the scenes that people have that, you know, is the whole story that we don't have. So I think there's a lot of stuff. He's kind of chasing ghosts right now. And I think he's trying to pretend to be his mom, like I said, cosplaying his dead mom, rather than deal with all the real stuff going on and the fact that his father will die. Personally, I have a date. Well, not a date. I have a time frame that I think it will happen. That is my prediction. So yeah, I think it's I think it's going to happen faster than a lot of people currently believe it will. And I think the family knows. The family knows the prognosis. So yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of fighting around him, a lot of battles, a lot of fighting over business deals, contracts. It's a verbal game. I think there's a lot of strife between him and Meghan, not only the two of them, but strife between him and his brother, him and his sister-in-law, him and his father, him and you know what I mean? There's like all these different things going on, and nothing is working for him. That's like really frustrating. And I do actually kind of have a bit of pity for him, because we've all been there. We've all had periods of our life where nothing worked. Every relationship was in turmoil. Everything we touched turned to you know, disaster. You know, we've all had periods of our life like that. And I think the difference is that, you know, he thinks he's a royal and that will solve everything, and doesn't really necessarily feel like he has to do any deep work or, you know, do the apology tour or anything like that. And I don't know if he'd even be allowed to. I don't know if like his brother will even speak to him. I don't know, because regardless of everything, and this is a really important thing, and this is where a bar is set when you're looking at relationships, particularly romantic ones, if somebody attacks you as a woman or a man, let's go both ways, your partner has to take your side, regardless of anything else that happens, regardless of what fallout may come from that. And so I think that Prince William, in, you know, when we kind of got all the real story about what happened around the wedding and the pantyhose on the children and blah, 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 and people crying and everything else, Prince William has drawn a hard line in the sand and is like, my wife comes first. And that's a good thing. And I think that, you know, life being life, and tragedies and devastations and everything else. I think that her having cancer was probably like even further cemented that for him. Like, you don't mess with my wife. And that's that. So there we go. But the influences around him, there's a lot of talking around him, a lot of people, a lot of contracts, a lot of all kinds of stuff. It's probably driving him crazy. And I heard he vanished for a few days. No wonder. I don't blame him. I would too. I would too. I think he wants to be seen as, yeah, his mom. Like, I think that what he wants more than anything else is to be seen as this Madonna figure, not Madonna the singer, Madonna the mother of Jesus, you know, seen as this figure, the way his mom was. Like, my goodness, that woman could do no wrong, even when she was doing wrong. And you know, there will never be another Diana. No one will ever be able to achieve that level of philanthropy and fame all at the same time. And I think he's really trying hard to become her and be that, except like, she, you know, I don't know if she made money doing that. Like, this guy, he keeps having to remember, like, he's got to pay the bills. He's got to pay his rent. You know, he's got to put food on the table, like, whatever's going on. When Diana's walking around the mines, like the land mines, and bringing attention to that, I don't think she got paid. I think that was just part of her, what she felt was her duty and service to the world. And it brought her fame, and it brought her more stuff, more goodness and things like that. But she was independently wealthy. She didn't need to make money taking photo ops, whereas Harry needs to make money doing that. That's the difference between the two of them. For her, it was organic. For him, it's contrived. It's cosplay. It's all the nutty stuff. So what's coming next? Some judgment. Actually, I'm gonna look up a timing here and see if we've got a timing. Sorry, bear with me. There we go. There's no timing. So this is kind of like, I think the wheels are in motion right now. And so sort of what's next for him, we're looking, let's even just look at the next 3 months. So this is the start of August, end of July, start of, I don't know what day it is, which is never a surprise. I never know what day it is. And so we're looking at the next 3 months. And so we want to be like looking at like what's his next move or a shift. This is, I think we're going to see something change. We are actually, the whole world is going to see something change. That divorce may finally be made public. I don't think they've been together for a long, long time. I think he left on his 40th birthday, and that's it. Any time that they've been seen together, it's been a contracted event where he shows up and pretends everything's wonderful, and she pretends everything's wonderful, and then they show the back of some children's heads, and they never say these are our children, I don't know that they've ever said that, but we all just fill in that blank and go, oh, these are their children, right? Do you see how people do that? We all do it. But I think that this is a new life change is coming, a change of position. And when I say that, a change of his position in the world, a change of the way the world sees him and perceives him. You know, he may be judged. The IRS may be looking for him for that Archewell missing money that was never declared. So yeah, it's that there's more and more information coming to him, and I think he's starting to wise up. This card actually comes up quite a bit for him, so I think it's a big evolving situation where he just needs to hear enough and know enough and be brought enough in order to say, okay, I'm done, I'm out, it's public now, I'm gonna get on with my life as a single man, well, as a divorced man. Are they even married? I don't know. And I'll tell you what, I asked that question when they had their wedding, and I know this is the same in all of those sort of big chapel weddings and things like that. So I'm a minister. I go to a lot of weddings. I always have people sign their marriage paperwork in front of everybody as part of the ceremony before we wrap everything up. When I got married, that's how it was done. That's how I do it. And when they just went off into a little back room to sign their paperwork. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who does that is up to no good, but there's always that question of like, are they really married? And her story of like, we got married 3 days earlier in the chicken coop. Is that true? Because it could be. I don't know. Didn't he lose his job over all of that? Like, imagine you're like the archbishop or arch something. Is like I don't know. He was a big deal. He was with archbishop of, I don't know. Somebody will know. But and then didn't he lose his job over her nonsense? Yeah, she's the kiss of death. Let me tell you that. Yeah, the kiss of death. The kiss of death. Oh, the Queen of Wands. So this is the lesson that he's going to have to learn. And I'm actually going to look up some timing for that too and see if we have some. No, we don't. But he's going to have to learn to be patient. This is sort of a bigger picture message for him. Just be patient. Trust the people around you who appear to be good mothers, because you were not mothered. You didn't have a mother from the time you were 12. I have a teenage son, and I can tell you that those years, the younger years, from my perspective, having a mom is not as important as when you're a teenage boy. Because I have found that my son has needed a mom a lot more as a teenager than he did as a toddler or, you know, a young child, like under the age of 10. So I think he really needs to start finding some good mother figures. There's a lot coming in on this card right now. It's connected to Leo, which is interesting because I think we're in Leo season right now, I believe. And yeah, he needs strong, good women around him to sort of help him work on his mother wound, but also his child wound, like the inner child, the wounded inner child. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. He needs a strong mother figure. He needs to do work on his inner child and his mother wound, because he definitely has one, and is probably why he hasn't picked like the best woman in this case. You know what I mean? Because he's probably so desperately looking for a mother that he just picked the first woman who would take control and say, nope, I got this, we're good. We're going to be famous, we're going to be rich, you're going to come to America with me, everything's going to be fine. And I think all of this is her. So there we have it. There's our little peek at Harry, see what he's up to. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to click the like button, click the subscribe button, because, you know, something like 65% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed, and you watch on repeat, like you keep watching my videos. So why not? Just do me a solid, hit the subscribe button, help me get to that magic number, and leave a comment and let me know you were here so I can say hi. As ever, have a magical day.